Good morning and welcome to another video of our Urban Explorer series. And today we're going to talk about Belvedere Castle. This is a peculiar thing. The fact that there's a big giant park in the middle of a dense city like New York is already weird. And to have a castle sitting in the middle of it is even more peculiar. So today we're going to explore the Belvedere Castle, why we even have this castle in the middle of New York City, and see what it's all about. So let's go. The Belvedere Castle is actually free. And by the way, it's a gorgeous day right now in New York. Even the pigeons are taking a spring bath. And a lot of people right now are saran wrapped in Lululemon. There is a lot of construction happening right around Belvedere Castle. They're renovating the Delacorte Theater, and the Delacorte Theater is where the public theater performs Shakespeare in the park. And that is also free, but unfortunately this summer they're not gonna be hosting it in Central Park. However, the public theater will perform Shakespeare plays in different parks all over New York City. And usually they produce two plays. One is a comedy and one is a tragedy. But right next to the Delacorte Theater is the Shakespearean Garden, which is apropos since it's right next to Delacorte Theater where they play Shakespeare. As we're about to go up the Belvedere Castle, you're gonna see a gorgeous view of the city, a gorgeous view of Central Park. Belvedere Castle is already picturesque from the ground, but it's also gonna be picturesque up there. When you're traveling, you wanna take all these great pictures. Don't you wanna send them right away to someone you know back home? And if you're a foreigner, you can't do that if you don't have cell service. And not only that, cell service is important when you're traveling. You can't order an Uber. It's hard to get directions because you can't use maps. Perhaps today's sponsor could help you with that. Holify offers electronic SIM cards that keep you connected wherever you go. There's no need for a physical SIM card because this eSIM gets emailed to you. It's easy to set up so you can enjoy unlimited data with no roaming charges in more than 100 destinations around the world. And you can keep your phone number and physical SIM card alongside this eSIM. You can buy a 5-day plan or up to a 3-month plan. Even if your plan expires and your SIM card has zeroed out, it's okay. You can always refill it or you can save it for your next trip. Enjoy a 5% discount on any plan using the code Urban Caffeine or by clicking the link in the description. Thank you, Holify, for sponsoring today's video. Shakespeare Garden is beautiful. It really does feel like you're in a Shakespeare play when you walk through here. By the way, if you ever need a restroom, there's one here at Shakespeare Garden. And it's just such a nice intro to getting to Belvedere Castle. It's so quiet here right now. Whenever you're here at this portion of Central Park, you almost have to whisper. So as we're approaching Belvedere Castle, let's talk about why there's even a castle here. We have to know that when they built Central Park, the idea was for a bucolic country feel retreat from the city. And back then, I'm out of breath. And then back then, building follies, decorative buildings, and large parks was a common theme. It's oddly peculiar. You'd think by virtue of there's been an old thing in New York City that there's some history to it. Actually, there's not much history to Belvedere Castle. It is a folly, so it's purely decorative. But why a castle? Central Park was built in 1850s, and Belvedere Castle was built in 1869. The Victorian era was between the 1830s up until the 1900s, 1901 to be exact. The Victorian era had themes of fantasy and romanticism, and that was the zeitgeist of that era. So if you're building something that's decorative, purely decorative in the heart of Central Park to get into the theme, then it's naturally going to be a Victorian castle, or at least that was the vision of the designers of Central Park. There are several viewing areas on Belvedere Castle. I'm here, and one of them has a view of Delacorte Theater, which we talked about is under construction, and a view of Turtle Pond. Getting a ticket to Delacorte Theater is a pain. It requires patience and just standing in line for a long time. This might be a great chance this summer to actually watch one of the Shakespeare performances, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities, because it's going to be performed in many different parks throughout the city. Nearby is also the Ramble, which I wanted to do a video on, but it's too early in the season. The Ramble is great for a summer video. So if you want to see that video, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Belvedere Castle is the second highest natural elevation in Central Park. It sits on top of Vista Rock. The highest natural elevation in Central Park is Summit Rock. But even here you get a beautiful view of the city, and the name Belvedere is for beautiful view. It refers to not just the castle itself, but the view that you can get at the castle. So let's go to the highest point of Belvedere Castle. It's this deck right here. Over the years, there have been different purposes of this structure, just because it is a beautiful spot with a beautiful view at a high point of Central Park. It's been used to observe the weather back in the 1910s. Today, it's used as a nature observatory. Okay, we're gonna go up the highest peak, and to do that, you have to enter through the actual building. These are narrow stairs. Last month, we did the Brooklyn Bridge and we were so high up. Now we're in this river. So if you have a selfie stick, you can't stick it out. I think that an extra 20 feet won't make a difference, but it really does in the view. So here's Turtle Pond. It's called Turtle Pond because there are a lot of turtles in it. Oh, there they are. Look at them. Just laying in the sun. Don't they know it's Monday tomorrow? They look dead. They're not moving. I want to see one move to make sure they're not dead. Welcome to my kingdom. I am King Thea. It would be much nicer in the summertime when everything's green, but right now everything is just brown. So there's another level. There's a second level to the lookout, and we're gonna go up there. And we have a second set of stairs, narrow stairs. I don't know if there's accessibility with this. I don't know if they accommodate those that need. Oh, thank you. You get the same thing, but higher. So that's Belvedere Castle for you. Now you know why there's a random Victorian castle in the middle of this dense concrete jungle that we call New York City. And a beautiful day, if you want a great peaceful view of the city, you can go here since it's free. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, check out the Urban Explorer series that I have up. I created a new playlist, and link to that is in the description below. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, happy New Yorking. It was used for meteorological. How do you say it? Meteorological. Meteorological. To observe weather.